Welcome back to New Rockstars, I'm Erik Voss, and The Mandalorian Chapter 13 set in stone so much about the Star Wars universe, making it a much richer world with very exciting narrative priorities. All kinds of reveals, including the child's name as Grogu and his backstory at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, Ahsoka Tano alive and well in all her Rebels glory, and a possible upcoming link with the pre-retired Luke Skywalker. But for me, the most important detail was this moment.
Where is your master? Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn?
Whoa, shit! We have gotta talk about who Thrawn is, because assuming Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are playing this right, and by all evidence they appear to be, bringing Thrawn into the mix represents the Mandalorian series leaping forward from a period piece filling in the gaps in the timeline to a wildcard space fantasy whose future would be impossible to predict, one that doesn't have to thematically rhyme with itself every 3 movies. So Thrawn was introduced in Timothy Zahn's Star Wars novel Heir to the Empire in 1991 as a Grand Admiral of the Imperial Navy tasked with carrying on the Empire after the Emperor's fall. Inspired by figures like Alexander the Great, Erwin Rommel, Sherlock Holmes, Thrawn's ruthlessness and cunning, especially compared to the many other incompetent Imperial officers, made him a beloved character arguably responsible for the whole popularity of the expanded universe. And so it's a big deal that he's back, because much of the expanded universe has since been discarded and overwritten, sadly. But throughout all of that, Thrawn has been one of the few characters Lucasfilm has clung to, refusing to alter significantly because he is that good. So good that he has since been brought into canon with Season 3 of Star Wars Rebels and various graphic novels. Canonically, Thrawn is a Chiss, going by many names, including Mithra-Nuruodo, born Kiviranuru, but his lovers call him Vuron. Not kidding. He comes from the planet Rentor in the Unknown Regions, who's an officer in the Chiss Ascendancy during the Clone Wars before it was inducted into the Empire. Thrawn actually crossed paths with Anakin Skywalker during this period, helping him rescue Padme, and then he was recruited as an Imperial officer. As a fierce hand-to-hand combatant, he began as a low-level weapons officer, but then worked his way up to the rank of Grand Admiral, a rare title in the Empire. During the Galactic Civil War, his skill at empathizing with his enemies to exploit their weaknesses made him a fearsome enemy to the crew of the Ghost, which is what we saw in his arc in Rebels. And that is how Dave Filoni is now tying him into The Mandalorian. See, on Rebels, Thrawn was last seen disappearing into hyperspace alongside Ezra Bridger via hyperspace whales. And then in the finale of Rebels, we saw Ahsoka Tano and Sabine Wren both setting off in search of Ezra, with Thrawn now presumably being a key part of that search. If you find Thrawn, you know where Ezra went. But now we're learning that since then, Thrawn has apparently stayed busy. This episode of The Mandalorian taught us that he has Morgan Elsbeth serving him, plundering worlds like this forest planet of Corvus, harvesting natural resources in order to build a Starfleet. That is how Ahsoka is now trying to get at Thrawn.
Now tell me, where is your master? Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn?
Now, you could infer from this that Ahsoka is still on that search, and we might be seeing a live-action Sabine Wren and Ezra Bridger very soon. Though, interesting to note that Sabine Wren is not with Ahsoka right now. So, what happened? Well, you could say Thrawn might have already killed Ezra and Sabine, but assuming Dave Filoni wants to deliver fan service to all of his Rebels fans, I doubt he would kill off these beloved characters off screen and leave them to that unceremonious fate. Ezra and Sabine might not be as big of a characters as, like, Ahsoka, but they're still roughly on the same level as, say, Bo-Katan, and she got to survive, so I'm assuming they're still alive too. Also worth noting that in The Rise of Skywalker, Rey did hear the voice of Ahsoka Tano among the Jedi voices. It was then voiced by animated series voice actor Ashley Eckstein, suggesting Ahsoka might have died sometime in these 25 or so years in order to be a ghost voice. But in that cacophony, we did not hear the voice of Ezra Bridger, Taylor Gray, in there, so he is probably still alive at that point and probably still alive at this point. Thrawn might just have Ezra and Sabine imprisoned, and Ahsoka is now trying to free them. But beyond this short-term mission, introducing Thrawn into live action has even bigger implications for how Filoni and Favreau are expanding this whole universe. And if you watch this episode closely, some overlooked details do start to reveal that secret. But before we continue, I want to thank HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. You can get mouth-watering seasonal recipes and fresh, pre-measured ingredients delivered right to your door with HelloFresh. It's America's #1 meal kit. HelloFresh makes cooking at home fun, easy, and affordable. Look, I am not much of a chef. The best eggs I know how to serve are of the Easter egg variety. HelloFresh makes cooking so simple with their step-by-step recipes and pre-measured ingredients that even a dining dunce like me can pump out some delicious food. They cut the stress of meal planning and prepping so that you can get dinner on the table in just about 30 minutes or even 20 minutes with their quick and easy options. It's flexible to fit your lifestyle. You can easily change your delivery days or your food preferences, skip a week whenever you need. I mean, just look at this idiot go.
Time for Yum Yums.
Their meals are really delicious with more 5-star rated recipes than any other meal kit service. Just go to HelloFresh.com and use my code of NewRockstars90 to get $90 off, including free shipping on your first box. That's code NewRockstars90 at HelloFresh.com to get $90 off, including free shipping on your first box. Okay, so what exactly happened to Thrawn after his disappearance in Rebels? Well, regardless of where he disappeared to on the other side of that hyperspace jump, Thrawn must have been missing during the Battle of Endor. That was a true make or break moment for the Empire, and if he was still commanding the Chimera, he at least would have been present for that battle or present for the Battle of Jakku, the last stand for the Empire before its transformation into the First Order decades later. It's believed that his knowledge of the unknown regions might have helped guide the First Order in their formation. But really, Thrawn's absence from these events likely mean that most of his Legends narrative from Timothy Zahn's novels could get overwritten. But this does position Thrawn to be in a far more flexible narrative position going forward, because Thrawn's whole identity is based on a disdain for the management capabilities shown by other Imperial officers. The guy's a rogue. As a younger Chiss, he joined the Empire because he saw an opportunity to rise upon a wave that would inevitably flood the galaxy, and he wanted to be on the victorious side of history. But then after that, he kind of becomes his own man, or Chiss. So while we have die-hard Imperial loyalists like Moff Gideon representing the threat of the Empire on this series, I doubt Thrawn would represent the same thing. It'd be redundant and a true missed opportunity to explore what truly makes Thrawn tick. Also, notice how in this episode, Ahsoka refers to Thrawn as Elsbeth's master.
Where is your master? Where is your master?
That is an oddly specific way to define Elsbeth's relationship with Grand Admiral Thrawn. She didn't say your leader or your admiral or your commander. Gone are those military ranks, and in their place, master, a more intimate mentor, echoing kind of the terminology of the Jedi or the Sith. Furthermore, the slower kendo-inspired fight choreography shown by Morgan Elsbeth, using that Beskar spear as a bow, this echoes Thrawn's melee skills as a younger weapons officer, not the 4D chess naval mastermind working for Imperial goals, but one channeling his pre-Empire Chiss ascendancy expertise. And then finally, that Beskar spear, a weapon specifically tailored to fend off the strikes of a lightsaber, the lightsaber being the weapon of a Jedi or a Sith or some other poser. I believe that all of these clues are telling us something about Thrawn's plan to oppose the lingering factions of the Empire and to build his own fleet, either a restored Chiss ascendancy or his own Order of Thrawn. Because Elsbeth and her soldiers are not Imperial. They are not stormtroopers. There's no Imperial insignia whatsoever. So they're not the Empire, but they are mowing down forest planets to build a fleet, which is what Elsbeth was good at during the Clone Wars. So what are they building if not a new rival fleet? I believe Thrawn and Elsbeth wanted her to carry that Beskar spear, not to hunt or to kill Jedi like Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka seems on her own personal warpath, disrupting Elsbeth's bigger Starfleet plan, but maybe Elsbeth has it to protect herself from either the New Republic Jedi, Luke Skywalker, Leia Organa, or Darksaber-wielding Imperial leader Moff Gideon. So this would make Thrawn and Elsbeth neither New Republic nor Empire nor First Order, but another less defined and potentially deadlier threat. A variable wildcard force that hits both sides, like the Boltons or Omar or Jack Sparrow. The best characters, a force that could could rise up after Palpatine's final order is destroyed. That is how great fantasy world building works, people. It's not just a battle between good and evil, but we also get to meet all the clever, unpredictable game changers that tip the scales between these forces. Let me know what you think Thrawn's plan is, and you can support New Rockstars by checking out all the great options on our official merch store, newrockstarsmerch.com. We got this shirt, we got a Hi, I'm Erik Voss shirt, we got a This Is the Way shirt, and hot off the presses, we got a new Grogu shirt. Check it all out because today is the last day of our Black Friday to Cyber Monday sale. 10% off of everything in the store. Check it out. Also, subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell, follow me on Instagram at EA Voss, follow New Rockstars. Thank you for watching. I have spoken.